Welcome to Over 50 and Frank, the podcast that says the quiet parts out loud. I'm Shannon, known as Frank when I drop the filter. Around here, we talk about aging, menopause, wellness, and life after 50 with honesty, humor, and zero apologies. If you're over 50 and craving real talk, pull up a chair and send to a friend. Today's episode is about something many women feel but don't really name. It's the idea of shrinking as we get older. I'm joined by my friend and fellow creator Marnie, and we are talking about what actually it looks like. It could be losing visibility, questioning relevance, pulling back from things that felt natural, like being on camera, taking care of yourself, or going after new opportunities. This conversation is about rebuilding confidence, trying new things, setting boundaries, and taking care of yourself in a way that supports the life you actually want. If you've ever felt like you're supposed to get smaller with age, this episode is your reminder that you don't have to. Let's dive into it. I have Marnie with me today. She is an amazing UGC content creator. If you don't know what UGC is, it's a whole world of women and men that create content for brands. And a lot of us will say, are you an actor? Are you a paid spokesperson? And it's kind of like a mix of those. Or influencer, I get like people say, are you an influencer? And I'm like, no, I'm not an influencer. Not at all. But it's just basically real people that create content for brands. So Marnie and I have been talking. I asked her, if you came on the podcast, what would you want to talk about? And she said, shrinking, aging with shrinking. And that is not something I've really experienced, but I'm very intrigued and feel like what we're talking about today is going to help women step into their power kind of thing. So Marnie, let's just start with it. You use the phrase aging without shrinking. What does that mean to you?
Well, it was a very sudden process for me. It was slow and then it was fast. Basically, I stopped wanting to be seen on camera. I would hide. I kind of gave up on self-care. I was taking care of myself, but I wasn't using skincare. I was like, what's the point? I let my hair just grow. I just stopped, caring and I didn't want to see myself. And this was in my late 40s. And then when I turned 50, I had to find a new job. And after being self-employed, I went to go apply. And it was just it hit me like a brick. How much things have changed and how difficult this was going to be. And holy shit, I'm 50. Am I even employable at this point? That I think is the first time I ever even felt my age. It's holy shit, I'm 50. Is anyone even going to see me anymore? It was a gradual thing. And then it was it hit me like a truck, the shrinking feeling. And am I relevant?
So I relate to that. This just jogged something completely that I didn't even think about. So when I was 47, I had a colonoscopy. Well, to back up, you may not know this. I worked for people until I was 42 and I lost my dream job. I was fired from my dream job, which was I worked in food and beverage in the craft beer industry. And everybody had been saying you need to just start your own business. You need to start your own business. And I didn't want to work in marketing anymore, but everybody kept telling me that's where your talent is. And at 42, I was like, oh my God, I am too old. Nobody's going to want to hire me. I'm just going to start my own thing. And I started a marketing agency. And that marketing agency is still around today. We do mostly social media. But what happened then next was I got so consumed with that business that I didn't take care of myself. So at 47, I got diagnosed with high blood pressure. And they were like, you need to lose weight. You need to get your blood pressure down. I was exercising. I was eating okay-ish. And then I got on GLP-1 meds and I lost 60 pounds over a year and a half. And that's when I noticed my life, okay, when I started taking care of myself, I was shrinking during that job, that building a business kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But the second that I figured out how to lose that weight, everything just kind of exploded. And I was like, I am not too old. I am not to this. But there was this time when I did think I don't like the forehead wrinkles. And you can't really see them. Is the thing, or the wrinkles here, or I have tennis elbow. So right now my elbow really hurts. I'm getting old, but this is fixable. This is fixable. So I relate to that when I was when I lost my job and everybody told me you can totally do it. And I didn't believe I could do it, but I had people pushing me. So for me, I just needed people to push me a little bit. Why do you think women start doing this in their 40s, making themselves smaller? Why do you think that is?
Part of it, and now that I'm looking back, I'm realizing now, this is another realization midlife realization that how programmed we are, because my brain is telling me this thing that I need to be this thing at this age. It's telling me. I'm like, who put that in my brain? Why do I have this belief there, and who put it there? So we're programmed, from the time we were children. So it's a societal belief that we absorb. And I think at some point, we see the age happening, and a lot of times you throw in the towel and just go, well, this is my life now. And you can accept that, or you can throw it in the garbage. You can go either way. Yeah, it's ingrained. It's society.
I feel like when I got told I had high blood pressure and I needed to do something about it, like it kind of gave me this, okay, like I don't want to die tomorrow. I want to be here for my grandkids. I want to be able to retire and travel someday. And it kind of gave me like this lease on life, taking care of myself. But I have to say, like, over the last 2 years of building this new career and new business, there have been times I've lost myself. Like I have not made the time to exercise. I do like meal prep and make sure I eat good. But there's just been times when I feel like I am the last person that gets the oxygen mask comes on me last. And I had to talk to my husband about this. Like, I'm building something and I need help. And he's just like, just tell me where do you need the help? And it's been just kind of interesting, like asking for help has been hard. Do you have the problem of asking for help?
I probably scream for help, but it's more like, I need help.
When it's too late. Like when it's too late.
At that point, you're already exploding. Yeah, I mean, my husband is wonderfully supportive. I have a 13-year-old son who's receptive. No, he's great.
I know how that goes. I have 13 and 17.
Okay, yeah, he's oblivious, but he's great if you ask him you need help. But yeah, I think one thing that I'm dealing with a lot at this, like, I'm tired all the time. I think you just get this tiredness, and I'm dealing with some health issues too with my hips. So yeah, it's just, I just don't have the energy that I used to. Maybe I think I need HRT, honestly.
Oh, HRT is life-changing.
Yeah, I haven't started. So yeah, I'm making an appointment. So that might be something that helps me.
I will definitely say that, well, GLP-1s help with inflammation. So I've definitely had some inflammation and joint pain. But when I started HRT, it was like I slept better. I was not a ragey bitch. 2 weeks ago, I had to go off it because they wanted to do a biopsy, and just to save their butts, because I had some TMI, vaginal bleeding. There's no TMI on this podcast, just so you know. So I had some random vaginal bleeding, which I'm not even going to get into. Like, I hypothesized why I had that. And they were like, we just need to make sure. So you need to go off your HRT. So I had to go off my HRT for a week. And everybody is like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so crabby? It helps your sleep. It helps the crabbiness. It's more for me like ragey, not so much hot flashes, but the rage that I like. My kids are just like, you're a much nicer person. So yeah, I'm a much nicer person on HRT and GLP-1s. So what are some ways that women might be shrinking themselves without realizing it? Like for me, like the oxygen mask last is like, I know mine.
Yeah.
Like, what are some ways that you see like women doing that?
Yeah, I'm definitely putting everything else ahead of you, not scheduling time for yourself. I think it's not even realizing what you're doing to yourself. So the realization is first, and then the action of taking action to put yourself first. I mean, just the action of a skincare routine, or the action of I'm going to take a bath and shave my legs. The action of, I'm going to make my bed in the morning. All of those little things add up, and they can kind of change your perception of yourself.
One thing I started doing for myself, which it doesn't happen every week, but it might happen like 2 times a month, is taking a day completely off, not on the weekends, to do whatever the F I want. It felt so weird the first time I did it that I was like lost.
What are you doing?
So what I did was, and I'll give last Friday as an example. I took last Friday off. UGC has been incredibly busy, and I have all these systems in place so it doesn't get busy. but it got busy, which is great because, as you know, it's up and down, But I also run another business. And in that other business, we let somebody go and then hired somebody new. So we're in this really weird phase of like training. So things just kind of like hit ahead. And I'm like, I need to take Friday off. So what I did was I have this analog bag where I put things that my phone is not allowed into the analog bag. I am not allowed to even text or Instagram or TikTok or even make videos, though I did take some pictures of my day. So what I did first was I put in my bag my journal. I do morning pages. Have you ever heard of The Artist Way?
Yes, I read it.
Yeah, so I'm doing the morning pages for The Artist Way. So I have my Artist Way book, I have my journal, I have a book I'm gonna read. I put that in my bag. I should have put some sort of artsy thing like watercolors. I dropped my daughter off at school, and then I went to have breakfast with myself, and I picked up a local paper, the weekly paper that has all the events in town, and I read that. And then it felt weird, like, okay, like something's missing. So I had my breakfast, and then I live in Oregon, and I live right next to all these beautiful trails. So I went on a 45-minute walk, and then by then I was kind of used to like, hey, this is what's going on. Then I went to Dry Bar and had my hair done. So that was fun. I was trying to like make it as like inexpensive as a day as possible, but breakfast and hair getting done were kind of what I did. Then I went to a consignment shop and shopped, and by then it was like 2:00. So I basically do things I want to do for myself and only me that day. That's what I did.
Yeah, that's good. I like that because I'll get a day off and I'm just like, I don't want to leave the room because my house is my office. I film there, so I never film in my bedroom. So I'm like, I just don't want to leave it. So I just like cave in there, which isn't the healthiest thing, but
no, I'm happiest when I have a book, a cup of coffee, and my French bulldog on my lap. That's when I'm happiest. So, and I find myself like, I get up at 5:30. I don't know what time you get up, but I get up at 5:30 mainly because I have kids in school and they totally get up and get out the door totally on their own because they either drive or take the bus. And I get to my office. So unlike a lot of UGC creators, I have my own office, which has natural light and I just love it. So I come here usually at 7:30 and I will do like my journaling, and I kind of have this affirmations visualization routine. I have to do that every day when I'm at the office, no matter what, before I start anything. And then I like get into it. And then the next thing you know, it's 4:00. And for daylight savings time, I was losing light. And you know how losing light is when you are a UGC content creator. Like,
yeah, you need light.
Now it's been life-changing this week. So I'm like, I don't necessarily have to get here as early as I do, but I'll like leave here at 4, go work out. I can't like lift because I have tennis elbow right now, so it's really killing me. So at least just go some sort of like exercise. Walking is probably what I'm gonna have to do. And then I go home and make dinner. And then by the time the kitchen is cleaned, like it's 7:30. And then it's like taking off my makeup, and then 8:30, I feel like I am from 5:30 in the morning until 8:30 at night, like busy. Yeah, so just trying to figure out like where in there can I take a little break, even though I'm going for a walk, where can I take a break for myself? Because I feel like from 5:30 until I go home at 4, I'm just like a robot.
Well, that's why you're so productive.
But sometimes I just don't want to be. Like, that's it's my own fault. Like, how do you do 2 jobs? And I'm just like, well, one I have help with. The other one I kind of do have help with. But at the same time, like, I feel like I've been trying to figure out what to outsource. Like, what can I outsource?
Yeah.
Like, I have friends that are just like, will say, hey, let's go to lunch. I'm like, I can't do lunch today. Like, I can do lunch next Wednesday at 1.
Schedule it in.
Yeah, can we schedule it in? And then it's just like, I want to be spontaneous like her. Do you think confidence changes after 50? I feel like some women gain this, and it might be from loss of hormones. Like, I don't give a crap, and they soar into confidence, or it's the opposite. Like, what's been your experience with this?
I mean, because I became a content creator, I think that gave me confidence. Being on camera all the time really helped my confidence. There's also the other thing, of course, where you just don't care anymore what people think. You're more rooted in who you are, and the world around you is, you know, their chaos. So yeah, you just, the two together. But yeah, I think most of my confidence was kind of making this change. I mean, I changed everything I was doing. I changed my job. I'm moving again soon. I'm excited about that. But yeah, just like I want to make my life what I want now. And I'm not going to take no for an answer, and you're either coming with me or you're not kind of attitude. But yeah, I think just, being able to reinvent yourself at this age is very confidence building and obviously succeeding at it.
What advice would you give somebody that is over 50 and lacking confidence? Like, what advice would you give that person?
Again, like, you need to expand yourself. Learn new things, try new things, do those things that you were like, oh no, that's not me. Because it can be you. You still have that ability to be whatever you want. And especially now, more so than before, where you have all of this history and you have all these experiences. That value is going to help you be whatever you want. So, now's the time. Do it now, Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now. This is the time. And the confidence will come. If you don't have it, it's a skill. It's a practice. It's the doing that gets you the confidence, not the other way around.
Since you're a content creator, I'm a content creator as well. As I always have to remind people that, because they're like, oh, since you're a content creator, are you pushing into the next phase of that as becoming like a personal brand? I don't want to say influencer because I kind of feel like that's a bad word. Are you heading towards that direction next?
Yeah, I absolutely am. I'm taking notes from you.
I have people that ask me to ask, and actually that's a podcast we're going to have, is like how to build a personal brand when you're over 50. Mm-hmm. My biggest advice is like, start with things you love and stay to the things you love. I worked with I'm not even going to say the type of company it was, but I worked with a brand recently and they wanted me to post on my Instagram, and it's not a product I use. And so they wanted me, like, they sent me the product and they wanted to pay me to post. And I'm like, that's great. But this isn't something that I use. So can I use it for a month and then kind of come back? Because I already have products. I'm being vague on purpose. I already have products in that category that I use and love. And they were like 2 weeks. I'm like a month. I really, really, really pride myself on integrity and honesty. And if I don't like something, I'm not going to post about it. So they gave me a month and I actually liked the product and posted about it. So, but I always tell folks, like, talk about things you know, talk about things you love. I get so many products every day, as you do too. And you're not going to know just using it once for that UGC video if it's worth it or not. And I have an episode that airs before this one, I think, that talks about like that skincare is marketing and consistency is everything. I already have my stuff, my skincare, my hair care, my body care set. So I always tell people start with what you love. And I'm going to go for there and reach out to those brands that you already love and use, or you already have partnerships with too. So it's just funny because the brands that, like I said, this is a whole episode coming up. The brands that I love, I've reached out to personally, but then I just don't get back to you. But then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to create the content and link it to LTK or ShopMy. And lo and behold, after I featured one of them 4 times, they finally reached out and they were like, be part of our ambassador program. So that's the thing that people don't like with building the personal brand and then building that secondary income on affiliate marketing. I always say just go with what you love, because if you are talking about something that you don't use, it's not going to be authentic. So, okay, you ready for lightning round?
Yeah.
Aging gets better when you
find community.
The thing women should stop apologizing for is
existing.
I love that. It's true. We're coming into our voices after 50. The biggest myth about women over 50 is
the golden girls.
We don't
popped into my head, the cotton hair and retiring and this is our life now. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, thank you for being on. There's gonna be more coming from Marnie, so stay tuned. I just love her. In the UGC community, there's not a lot of women over 50 and we kind of all know each other and interact parasocially, but you can find her at Marnie Creates on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah. And I'll put a link in the show notes too. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thanks so much for listening to Over 50 and Frank. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd follow the show, leave a review, or share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. You can find links, resources, and everything we talked about in the show notes. I'm Shannon, and I'll be back next week with more candid conversations about style, wellness, and life after 50.